Evening and welcome to Netzach Israel's Kitzur Shulchan Shir. Tonight we're going to be learning Siman Kaf Ches, Hilchas Sefer Torah, which are Sefer Kodesh, the halachos to do with the Sefer Torah and other holy books. Sefer Hala. Mitzvah say Al Kol Ish Yisrael, Al Kol Ish Yisrael, Lichtav Lo Sefer Torah. There's a positive commandment on every person from Bnei Israel to write for himself a Sefer Torah. Shneimar, as the pasuk says, "V'ata kisvu lachem eis hashira hazos." And now write for yourself this song, referring to the shira in Parshas Ha'azinu. V'kiblu chachameinu zkavanam nebracha perusha, and our chachamim of blessed memory have accepted the interpretation of this pasuk to mean lichtov es kol haTorah. To write the entire Torah in which this song can be found. And even if he inherited a Sefer Torah from his father, mitzvah lichtav mishalav, he still has a mitzvah to write his own Sefer Torah. Sachalo sofer lichtav lo Sefer Torah, if he hired for himself a sofer to write a Sefer Torah for him, or he bought one, and there was a mistake in it, and he then corrected it himself. And then it's as if he wrote the whole thing. But also, limka Sefer Torah, it's forbidden to sell a Sefer Torah. But in case of great need, he should ask a shayla to a chacham and see if it's possible in that case. Sif base. Similarly, there is a commandment on every person to buy other holy books from which we learn the Torah. Kigaon Mikra, for example, Mikra is Chumash and Nach, Mishnah, Gemara, and Poskim, and all other commentaries. Shiyama Mitachan, from which he can learn. V'gam Yashilei Nacherim, and also he should lend them out to others. Someone who isn't able to afford to buy both to buy a Sefer Torah for himself and to buy other books for learning, as I have Sfarim shehem tzarich limud hein kalmin, then the Sfarim which are needed for learning, those take precedence over the Sefer Torah. Amar Rabbi Senu Zechronam Levracha, a rabbi's blessed memory, quoted the pasuk "V'tzikaso omedes la'ad," and his righteousness stands forever. They said "Zeh hakoseh." This refers to one who writes, and in brackets, "V'hu hadin hakonen." Similarly, one who purchases sefarim, holy books, umashilan la'acherim, and lends them out to others. Sif Gimel. Chayav Adam then how kavod gadol b'Sefer Torah. A person is obliged to exercise great honor, to behave with great honor towards the Sefer Torah. The mitzvah the yachadem makam, and there's a commandment to put aside a special place for it. And to honor that special place, and to make it very beautiful and important. He shouldn't. One shouldn't spit in front of the Sefer Torah. He shouldn't hold the Sefer Torah without its covering. If one sees someone else carrying a Sefer Torah, he should stand up before it until he returns the Sefer Torah to its place, or until he can no longer see it. And when one is in shul, when we're either taking out or returning the Sefer Torah to and from the Aron, then there is a mitzvah for everyone in front of whom the Sefer Torah passes to actually accompany it back to its place in the Aron. And similarly, the ones who do Hagba and Gelila should accompany it back to its place. Sif Daled, Afilu Sha'ar Sifrei Kodesh, even other holy books besides the Sefer Torah, Imunachim al Safsal, if they are placed on a bench, Also, it's forbidden for one to sit on this same bench. Unless the books are placed on something that is at least a tefach high. And how much more so, it's forbidden to place books just sitting on the ground. A person shouldn't rest a book on his knees. And rest his arms upon it. In times of need, when there's no other nowhere else to sit, it's permitted to sit on top of a chest which has other holy books in it. But if there's actually a Sefer Torah in the chest, then it's still forbidden to sit on it. We can place chumashim on top of books from Nevi'im and Kesuvim. And similarly, you can place books from Kesuvim on top of Nevi'im, or vice versa, Nevi'im on top of Kesuvim. But one of the books of Nach can't go on top of chumashim. Sif Hey, Sefer Torah Shebola, Sefer Torah which has become worn, guns in also, we hide it away in a geniza. And similarly, other holy texts and writings and articles that are used for holy purposes should also be hidden away once they are worn out. But also l'sarfan, but it's forbidden in all these cases to burn them. Sif Vav, Ein Zarkin Kisvei Kodesh, we mustn't throw holy writings, even writings that are just halacha books or books of agadfa or stories, but also and it's also forbidden to turn them over to face them the wrong way around. And if one found them the wrong way around, then he should place them the right way up. Sif Zayin, one shouldn't urinate in front of holy books. And in the time of need, at least they should be higher off the ground than 10 tefachim. One shouldn't make covers or mantles for a holy item from something that was originally used for an ordinary item. However, after the matter, if they've already been made into a cover for something that's kadosh, then that's mutter. It's permitted to use them for that kadosh article. But if they're being made from something that was originally used for idolatry, I feel a bit also. Then even after the fact, even after they've already been made, also it's still forbidden to use them for the holy article. Sif Tes, it's forbidden to use a holy book for one's own benefit. For example, to stand it up in front of him to protect him from the sunlight. So that his friend can't see what he's doing. However, if the sun is shining so brightly on the book that he's reading from, that he's learning from, then he's permitted to use another book for shading the first book, because he's not using it for his own benefit, he's just using it to shade the book that he's learning from. And similarly, to put one book under the book that he's learning from, so that he can raise up the book that he's learning from so that he can see it more clearly, then that's permitted. But one mustn't place one book inside of another book, so that he won't need to search afterwards the place that he's learning from. To use one book as a bookmark within another book is not allowed. Lo yisartate eze kuntres al hasefer. One shouldn't draw lines on a notebook when he's got the notebook on top of a holy book. Because there's no inherent kedusha to the notebook that he's using to make notes on until there's something written in it. So if it's an empty notebook and he's put lines on top of it when it's on top of a Sefer Kodesh, then he's got something that's not yet Kodesh on top of a Sefer Kodesh. And similarly, one shouldn't place paper or the like within a holy book in order to preserve the paper. Sif Yud, Abe Kisvei Kodesh, someone who destroys holy books. He's transgressing negative commandment, which the Prophet says, you shall not do so to Hashem your God, talking about destroying the idols of the 7 nations in Canaan. So we mustn't destroy the holy writings of Hashem. But and we ought to stop and rebuke the people who bind books, who often glue into the covers of the books pages from holy writings. We also need to be very careful when we give old holy books to a non-Jewish binder to rebind them. So before doing so, one should remove the old covers from the holy books and hide them, so that the binder doesn't go ahead and take them off and then use them for secular books, which would be using something that was originally holy for a Sefer Chol. Sif Yud Aleph, Ein Lokchen Sefer Torah Tefillin Umezuzos Min Ha'eno Yehudi B'Yosem Mikadei Demehem. We shouldn't buy Sefer Torah scrolls, Tefillin Umezuzos from a non-Jew for more than they're worth. So that we don't encourage them to steal them and to rob them from us. If they get for their actual worth, we are obliged to buy them back. Even when they're in such a state where they would have to be placed in Geniza anyway, where they're somewhat dilapidated. However, if the non-Jew is asking a lot for them, then he should bargain with him and try to convince him to sell them at their proper. Perhaps he'll be able to convince him to sell them at their proper price. But if he stands firm and refuses to sell them at a lower price, then we have to leave them in his possession. We shouldn't request from the non-Jew to sell them too cheaply, in case he becomes angry and then throws them away to a place where they will be lost and then will never be able to retrieve them. Sif Yud Beis, if a Sefer Torah falls out of his hand, even while it's covered with its mantle, with its covering, he has to observe a fast day. We also have the custom that those who see the Sefer Torah fall also have to fast. Sif Yud Gimel, also lichtav pasuk b'li sirtot. It's forbidden to write a pasuk from Chumash without drawing a ruled line first on which to write the letters. Yesh amrim da also lichtav divrei chol b'chsav ashuris shekosvim b'hatara. Some opinions say that it's forbidden to write ordinary secular matters using the Ashuri script with which Torah scrolls are written. Thank you. Good night.